Hi, I'm Jennifer Bourne, and I'm so happy that you're here. Today, I want to talk to you about how to identify and define your core brand values. For small businesses, freelancers, and entrepreneurs, values play an important role in the definition of brand. The values that you choose to represent your business and the truths that it stands for affect your communications, your sales, marketing, decisions, and even relationships, the connections that you're making with clients, customers, vendors, prospects, and those you may not even know yet, but are following your brand online. Your values are uncompromising truths and guiding principles that articulate what you stand for. They are the primary driving force behind your brand, your business, behaviors, and decisions. Personal values represent what you stand for as an individual. Brand values represent what the company stands for. Values define what is most important to you, and they provide an innate guidance and influence over choices and decisions. The core values that you select will represent your brand and influence customer buying decisions. And in turn, they're going to affect your sales and profits. People are more likely to buy from brands whose values align with their own. They want to know what you stand for, what you're committed to, what you care about, and they want to know that it's the same thing that they care about as well. Now, every successful brand has a set of core values. They could be 3, 5, 7, or even 10 values, but they are the values that truly represent the standards that are important to the business. Now, some businesses just define their core values as a list item on a to-do list. They define them, they check it off, and then they don't really do anything with it. These businesses can tell you what their values are, but they're often portrayed as kind of hollow and meaningless because for these businesses, their values are just words that sound good, not defining attributes that they will live by every day. Truly successful businesses look at their values and they carefully select them and infuse them into each and every aspect of the company, its employees, its marketing, and its offerings. These businesses use their core values as the operating principles and the standards of behaviors that keep their company moving forward in the right direction. The key is walking the talk. Let's talk a little bit about the benefits of defining core values. By taking the time to define your personal values and the values of your brand, you're making a statement, again, about what is most important to you. As a freelancer or an entrepreneur, you're making a statement about what you want to be known for and how you want people to feel about you and their interactions with you. When you're really clear on your core values, you'll be able to make better decisions because you can ask, is this in alignment with my values? You can assess new opportunities or potential joint venture partnerships, right? You can discover whether or not your values align with their values to see if it would be a great match. You can get greater credibility as a leader when the actions that you take every day align with the values that you stand for and believe in. Knowing your values can help you hire the right team members as well, because you can look for their values and your values, and you can see if they align in that way, right? When you want a culture fit, what we're really talking about is value fit, right? You want people to be aligned in their beliefs and how they act and how they behave on a daily basis and what they represent. Knowing values can help also improve morale, right? When team members believe in the core values of the companies they are working for, and that company walks their talk, morale is boosted, productivity soars, and retention is increased. Values can help you build stronger relationships. When consumers can easily identify brand values and see that they're aligned with their own, it helps make a faster connection with that brand. Values can help shorten the sales cycle as well for that same reason. When your values are crystal clear and your prospects or, potential customers can identify themselves as being in alignment with your values or seeing that those resonate and it's something that they also believe in, then they're going to begin to seek you out, right? And they're going to buy from you. Now, you just want to make sure you don't define your values and then ignore them. If your values and actions aren't in alignment, you're going to feel unhappy, anxious, frustrated, and you may even resent what you're doing in your job or in your work. Your team, your customers, your prospects, your audience, if your actions aren't in alignment with your values, that's going to come through as well. And it's going to affect the success level of your business. Now, just as a compass is a trusted guide for hikers, always pointing true north, guiding them in the right direction, values are a trusted guide for brands, always pointing toward their true beliefs, guiding the business in the right direction. But unlike a brand mission that describes what the company hopes to achieve and how they're going to achieve it, values represent the brand's character and what the company stands for. Once you define your personal values, you should use them to guide your daily actions. Once you define your brand values, your entire business and team needs to operate in alignment with those values. You want to demonstrate those values in the daily behaviors of the business, in the message, in the marketing and communications, the voice, the products, the program, the services, the experience that people are having when they're engaging and interacting with your brand. When you and your brand act in alignment with your values, that's when you feel the most happy, peaceful, engaged, fulfilled, motivated, and satisfied. That's when your team will rally behind the business because they also believe in those things. The congruence of your words, actions, and the essence of that value set is going to permeate all aspects of your business. And your ideal clients who share your values will naturally be pulled to you or attracted to you. Let's talk a little about actually defining your core values. Now, we know how important they are and the benefits that come with knowing your values and living those every day. But what about the process of actually defining your values, right? It's not a one-time task. It's not something you do once and then you never do it again. It's an exercise that you need to revisit over time, multiple times, right? Because your values will change over time. Especially if you're an entrepreneur or a freelancer, the things that are most important to you today, the things that are the core of your business today may change in 2 years or 3 years as you continue to evolve as a freelancer or an entrepreneur. This is less likely for larger businesses, larger organizations. Their core values may not change over time, but the products and the services and how they are approaching the market may change over time. We see the biggest shift in core values with micro businesses, freelancers, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, those individuals who are their business, right? And as they grow, the business grows. Now, your personal values have to be true to who you are and what's important to you. They can't be based on what you think that they should be or what other people might think of you. Your business beliefs need to be the same. They need to have the same approach, right? It can't be what you think is right for your industry or what you should be saying to your customers. It can't be any of the expected. It has to be from the heart. It has to be unique to you and to your business, right? It can't be all about, consumer pressure or sales. It has to be about your core beliefs of what you stand for, of what's right to your brand. Now, there are 4 different ways that you can go about defining your brand values. It's not a super easy task. And if you're not sure where to start, you can pick one of these 4 exercises. You don't have to do all 4, but pick one that feels good to you and try it out and see what kind of results and what values you come up with. So the first one is it's a little morbid. It's to write your eulogy, right? Begin by writing down everything that you want people to say about you at your funeral. When you're done, look at the list of all of the things you wrote down and look for repeating patterns or central themes and ideas. The values that you see showing up most often in what you wrote down should be used to help guide your top core values. The second option is to grab a master list of core values and read through it, narrowing it down in several phases until you get to the top 3 to 5 that are the absolute most important to you. Maybe 7 if you can't narrow it down that much. You can download the core values PDF that I have available for you that'll walk you through all of these exercises, including giving you a giant list of values that you can review and use to help you narrow down your values. Number 3, you can look at values and look at characteristics and traits and attributes that you respect in other brands or other people that you admire and respect. So make a list of brands that you love and admire, people that you love and admire. And then for each one that you write down, also make a list of the attributes about them that you really like, the attributes that you want to emulate in your brand. These should be nouns, they should be descriptors, right? You're describing things that represent them that you admire. Once you've done that, then you can look at those, everything that you wrote down, and you can find the ones that are showing up multiple times. Those are the ones that you're identifying with the most and can guide the creation of your core values. The next one is ask for input, right? Send a survey. If you are having trouble identifying your own core values and doing it yourself, send out a survey to clients, to customers, to trusted colleagues and friends, and ask them, what do you think based on our interactions, what do you think are the values that represent me? What are the characteristics, the traits, the attributes that describe me or that describe this business or this brand, and ask them what they see. And it can be really eye-opening to do this and find out what your clients, your customers, your audience, your colleagues really see from the outside when it comes to your brand, what the perspective is of your brand. Now, the reality here is that as you go through the exercises to define your core values, you're going to identify a lot of values that feel important to you. You might have like 20 or 30 that feel really important, like these are the things that really matter to me. But you've got to narrow it down, right? It's okay to have a lot of things that are important to you or to believe in a lot of things. But the idea here is you want to focus it down to the core values, right? Just like the 3 to 5, maybe 10 at the most, that you are going to emulate throughout your entire business, those that are going to shape the brand experience. Now, if you've never defined your core values, the process of selecting and narrowing them down can be really, really challenging. It forces you to get really honest about what you want the most. And it's a little bit enlightening when some of you may go through this and you're highlighting values and you find that you value something like wealth more than you value love. And there can be some wonky feelings there. Don't judge yourself on values that you're selecting. There's nothing wrong with having values that are different than other people's or different than what you think they should be, right? It doesn't mean that like if you value wealth over love, that's okay. It doesn't mean love isn't important to you. It just means wealth is a stronger driver moving you forward in your actions each and every day. Now, I recommend that you do this over a couple of days, right? Let it sink in a little bit. Go through a list of all of the values and highlight all the ones that speak to you, and then walk away and think about it for a while. Just let it rest and then come back later and narrow it down, cross off the ones that you think aren't the most important, or get a different color highlighter and highlight them again if, you think that it's the best. But do it over time. Give yourself time to really kind of settle in and do this naturally without pressure, without stress, without a time deadline of trying to get it done. Then once you have your list of values, then it's time to determine what they actually mean to you, right? What do they mean to you? What do they mean to your brand? Why is this so important that it was chosen as a top value? The definition of that value explains how it's going to be honored and upheld in your business on a daily basis, how your actions or the actions of your team every day will stand true and in alignment with that value. Then, for your personal values, I recommend creating a one sheet that you can put in your bathroom or your bedroom or in your office, somewhere where you're going to see it every day and be reminded of those things that are really important to you and remind you how you want to live in alignment with those each day. For your brand values, you can create a one sheet or even a poster with all your brand values on it and the definitions of those values. You can share that with your entire team, your employees, key stakeholders. You can even post that in your break room or in your office, somewhere where it's going to be seen and to be a reminder of how you want your team members to show up every day, how you want them to interact with clients and customers, and what kind of experience you want to create around your brand. Remember, your values shouldn't be identified then ignored. They should be used daily to do better and to guide your actions, your decision making, your marketing, your customer service, and the way you connect with your audience. When you and your brand show up in full alignment with your core values, you will naturally attract ideal, perfect fit clients because they'll identify with those values. And that means that you're going to enjoy a more engaged audience, you're going to enjoy better clients, and you're going to enjoy greater success. Don't forget to grab that PDF of how to identify and define your core values with that monster list of values that you can narrow down. And until next time, thanks so much and have a great day.